Berger here to talk to you about joints. I want to talk to you about 4 things that you can do to prevent joint problems. I know that I've totally suffered from joint problems in the past. I know that you probably have also. We have these little nicks and pains that just, as the years go by, that like I got my shoulder, I got my knee, I got my ankle, I got my hip, all these things I'm trying to just manage and keep from getting out of control. And I have really struggled with joint issues in the past. I was completely sidelined from my athletic career as a track athlete at the age of 20 due to complete degeneration of my tibia, which is where the tibia meets the knee joint. It was just a mush. And so much of what I've learned over the years since then has opened my eyes to wanting to prevent that happening to anyone. So let me talk about 4 things that you can do that will help prevent you from dealing with horrible joint issues. First of all, proper warm-up. You must warm up. I cannot believe how many people I see walk in the gym doors and immediately start lifting weights, and not just light weights. They are out there and they took off their jacket and they go over there and just start hulking out. Listen, that's the best way to get injured. Seriously, because your joints need to be warmed up. It's not that hard to warm up. Really, all you need to do is go get on some type of a cardio equipment or go for a walk, get moving, and specifically make sure you're moving the joints that you plan to work out. So what I do is I warm up on a bike. I like, really easy point of entry, nothing hard. Just get on the bike and ride and just get to the point to where I feel a little bit of a sweat coming on. Okay, just warm enough to where the blood's flowing, I got a little mojo going, and I am ready to attack. Then I go over to whatever, say if I'm doing shoulders that day or bench press, I make sure that I specifically warm up that area too. So my first set is always really light. I start with 45 pounds, say on the bench press, do several reps. I mean, like probably 15 to 20 reps with that weight, making sure that I'm slow and deliberate, that I'm, really stretching with each movement, using really good form. And then also stretching a little bit afterwards, making sure to open up, use the muscles that I'm going to be using, stretch either side, making sure that I do not injure that muscle group when I start lifting a little heavier. Okay, and then of course my first set that I'm lifting with is not my max. Never ever jump into like going, okay, I'm gonna max out right now after you barely warmed up. You need to work up to it, and you're gonna see that your body responds. Your body will start emitting more synovial fluid. You're gonna feel the joint loosen up. You're gonna feel the blood flow to that area. It's gonna make you more powerful, and the warm up will help your workout be more effective. I promise. You're not gonna wear yourself out on the warm up, and we all have 5 minutes to do it. So make sure you proper warm up. Then the second thing that I want to really talk about is to avoid peer pressure at the gym or in whatever fitness endeavor you're in. Peer pressure can come in many different forms. It doesn't have to be like if you're at a CrossFit box and you're all trying to, do as many wall balls as you possibly can in a minute, or in trying to run as fast as you can on the 400 that you're doing in between your 200 sit-ups or whatever crazy stuff you do. Listen, having a little bit of self-respect for yourself to say, hey, this exercise and me do not get along. I'm not going to do that like crazy like that. I am not going to sacrifice this one little exercise for my health over the next several months. If you know that, say for instance, if you know that you are dealing with a shoulder issue, you should not be doing wall balls, okay? If your shoulder, it gets irritated from that, don't succumb to the peer pressure and do it anyway. Or say if you know push-ups irritate your shoulder and you're at a boot camp class and everybody's doing push-ups, or listen to this. This is not even anything to do with anybody being around you. It's to do with trying to follow a workout program. Say you go to bodybuilding.com or wherever you find some workout plan that Arnold Schwarzenegger used to do, and you follow it to a T, not listening to anything that's going on in your body. That's a form of peer pressure. Now listen to your body. Do not sacrifice your joints today for just doing what the program says to the T. You can modify any program. A good personal trainer can help you do that. And, just really realizing that you need to work out where you're at and you need to work around maybe certain injuries. Personally, I cannot take group classes because I know that I get too competitive and I hurt myself. So I just stay away from those situations. I really make sure that I just listen to my body. I do the workout, and I need to modify a workout. I modify a workout. So just really don't succumb to peer pressure. So the first two things are, 1, proper warm-up. Number 2, don't succumb to peer pressure. Now the third item is supplementation. Oh my goodness. I am a huge believer in joint supplements. There are so many great advancements in joint supplements over the last several years. They've discovered so many great compounds and items. It used to be just like, take your glucosamine. Now it's like glucosamine sulfate, hyaluronic acid, your collagen, your turmeric, all these things working together to help reduce inflammation, prevent the injury before it begins by helping blood circulation to those joints, helping those joints stay healthy, and then also, if they are a little irritated, helping them heal. Supplementation is amazing to help with the blood flow, like I said, and help regenerate those tissues within your joints. And I am just beyond excited about using supplements to help me stay young and help me keep working out as I, get into my later years. So supplementation, taking it on a regular basis. Now, they're not going to do so much good for you if you just take them willy-nilly. You need to stay, consistent about taking them at least for a couple week period of time to really assess and see if they're working for you or not. And they're not like miracle pills. They're not like, oh, you take one and instantly it's better. But they honestly do help reduce inflammation. So inflammation is not just in our joints, but all over our body. And the less inflamed we are, the healthier and happier we are. So number 3 was supplementation. Now the fourth item is to avoid overuse injuries. And I touched on this a little bit with the peer pressure thing, but overuse is not having a good training plan. I was a runner for years and years. I ran miles and miles and miles as a teenager. I suffered because of it. I was overusing that joint horribly. And all in the name of competition, all in the name of getting better times, becoming faster, becoming more aerobically efficient, all these things. But I overused that joint and I have suffered from it since. Now, if you prevent overuse injuries with a good fitness program, you are going to be able to work out long into your life without any injuries. Now, overuse things are what I'm talking about is not following a good training program. If you're following a plan to where you're working your shoulders almost every single day, that's overuse. If you're doing upper body 5 days a week and maybe legs 1 day a week, you're overusing your upper body. You're not going to be able to recover your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, even your back muscles and your lower back will not be able to recover because you are constantly grinding on that. Now, other, runners are chronic overusers. I am totally against, listen to this, totally against marathons. I will not run a marathon. I will not ever encourage anyone to run a marathon unless it's like they're raising money or I don't know. I don't even know a good excuse to run a marathon. It is detrimental to your body to put that much pounding on your body over and over and over again. Okay, there's no reason to run a marathon unless you're running for your life and you don't have a car and you have to just run for like 23 miles or however far a stupid marathon is. I'm serious. Overuse injuries over and over and over again, that repetitive motion in your hip, repetitive motion in your even your lumbar spine, repetitive motion in your knees, your ankles, your toes, your feet. Seriously, overuse injuries are the number one cause for joint problems, and you can avoid it. You do not have to run every day. I run at the most every other day, never more than that. And sometimes, it's every third day, only for one reason. I want to avoid overuse injuries, and I can't because I have an overuse injury, but I will never recommend anyone to run more than that because your body just is not made to keep overdoing it on the joint over and over and over again, okay?